Guys, if you all are already a part of the Excellence Accelerator, welcome to our Sunday call. Sunday calls are for betterment of self. This is where we lock in on resumes, LinkedIn, interviewing, and all of those things. And the reason that we do it on Sundays is because Sunday night is the most powerful night for you to apply to jobs. A lot of people do not know that, but it's the truth. So a little bit about myself for the new people that are in here, because I know we get new members every single week to the group. My name is Jaida Steele. I ended up getting in corporate America about 3 years ago after just being extremely annoyed with entrepreneurship. I'll be honest. I was just extremely annoyed. It was just not... every day it was a new aggravation, guys. I was like, I can't do this. I always was just... it was a lot. I was making good money. There were times I was making $10, $15, $18, $20,000 a month, but I was burnt out, bro. I was burnt out. I always wanted to quit. So one day, I was like, you know what? I've got to figure something out. And that's exactly what I did. My friends were like, Jaida, you do realize that with your skill set, you can go into corporate America and they will be willing to pay you 6 figures without it, literally in the blink of an eye, without even questioning. And I was like, really? I think you're lying, but they were not lying. So that started my journey into corporate America. From that point, I started to help other individuals that would just call me and they was like, hey, can you help me make 6 figures in corporate? Can you help me with this? Can you help me with that? And I would just say, well, I mean, sure, why not? Eventually it got to a point to where I helped so many people that in 1 year, I was able to help people increase their salaries by $3.7 million. I'll let you add that up by yourself. So yeah, so it's safe to say that the things that I know, the things that I teach, these things work, and I don't play any games when it comes to it. So for my people that are actually new here, my people that are new in the group, all my new people, let me double check, make sure we good in the school community on my phone. Let's see. Okay, perfect. So for the people who are new in my school community, I want to give you all an extremely fast just walk through so I can make sure that you guys know how to navigate this. For my members that are here, y'all know that this is what I do every time. Don't act brand new. Y'all know that this is what we do here, okay? Y'all know we give people walkthroughs. We do not believe in people being lost in this community. So I'm going to walk you all through what we have right quick. It's going to take about 1 minute, and then we're going to get down to business. So the first thing you're going to have, guys, is the community. This is where you're going to see the communications, okay? This is what you're going to see. All right. When you first join the group, you are going to receive a message from me welcoming you to the group and telling you some of the next steps that you need to do. I will click on somebody's thing for you to see. This is Jasmine Duff. As you all can see, I sent her this message. What's up, Jasmine? Boom. I made her a Loom video so she can understand how to navigate the school community. Next is our classrooms. I have things here. This course is not complete. This is not complete. This is not complete. But if you do want to do a one-on-one career strategy session, I do have that here. And then I also have a document for you so you can look at the top 25 most in-demand skills in the tech industry to really see what's popping off in the world. Because y'all, it's about to get grimy out here. It's getting crazy right now. So next thing is our calendar. As we start to expand more and I get some more things off my plate, we are actually going to up this, you guys. There's going to come a point in time where we're going to have calls multiple times a week. But right now, I'm only one woman. I only have so much bandwidth. Next is the member section. This is important, guys. Go through this member section. It's so many people in here that are already doing what you want to do. You just got to reach out. Some people, they put what they do. Like right here, she's in operations management. If you've ever wanted to be in that, reach out to her. All you got to do is click chat and she'll talk to you. Map, you can see where people are at in the world. As you can see, we have somebody in Panama, we got somebody in the UK, we got somebody in Kenya, we got people in Arizona. This is going to expand because by the end of this year, we're going to have over 1,000 members here. So you guys want to make sure that you're tapped in, okay? Next is the leaderboards. The bigger you get on the leaderboards, the more access you get to everything. The people that are at the highest levels on the leaderboard, these are the people that actually have access to our classroom. So they're going to be the people that have access to the free courses. So I just feel like it was important to walk you guys through that so that y'all are just as tapped in. All right. Now, guys, I'm going to stop sharing my screen right quick because now it's time for us to get into this resume talk. Okay. Now, one of the biggest misconceptions that a lot of people have when they're looking at resumes or trying to, how do I edit my resume? I want to do better. I want to do more. I want to see more. All of this. One of the biggest issues that I'm seeing is that you guys do not know how to sell yourselves. You don't know how to sell yourselves. What you have to understand is this: you are human capital. In sentence. You are a human capital. These companies are wanting to hire you so that you can do a service for them. You want to make 6 figures in corporate? Okay, great. I need you to be able to sell yourself so that these companies can believe that with you being on their team, you can help their organization produce multiples of what you are paid. Corporate companies, they don't hire people and pay them 6 figures if they don't believe that you can get results. Paper pushers don't get paid 6 figures. You get paid 6 figures to use that brain and to strategize. That's what they want to see you do. Unless you're in sales, that's what you're getting paid for. Okay? You have to know that. You got to be able to get out here and sell yourself. Okay? And one of the things I always tell people to do, you should be aligning your resume with the jobs that you're going after. Period. Okay? So I got my homie here, Kabir. My boy hit me up 2 days ago. He said, Jay, get me right. I said, say less. Let's go. Let's go. So, Kabir, talk to me, man. I want to know about like what is your past as far as like corporate? What were you doing before this amazing thing that I love that I've been supporting since I met you? What were you doing before you started your amazing thing, which we'll briefly touch on? We got an interview coming up with Kabir too, y'all. So he ain't gonna give y'all too much on this because we focus on his resume, but he got a lot.
Yeah. So, if you want me, I'll take it away, Jaida. I'm good to go.
Take it away. Yeah. Bring your mic closer. You sound low,
I'm
low,
low.
low.
All right,
Yeah,
there we
that's
go.
perfect. Now that's good. That's
Okay,
good.
cool. So, oh man, I started my career in corporate America back in 2020. Well, no, 2014 actually. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm a vet in corporate America. Well, was a vet, and so I had about what I want to say like 7 years in corporate America before I decided to create my own software. But I started out at the Boeing company. I interned with them for 2 years, and then once I graduated from Morehouse College in Atlanta, Georgia, I ended up getting a job with them, starting out. I think they started me out $74,000 a month. I mean, a year
Okay.
at that time.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's when I started. I started out as a cybersecurity engineer and a software engineer at the same
Mm-hmm.
time. So simultaneously, I was both. So
Okay. How did you when you were going through college, had you already decided that you wanted to do something within cybersecurity? Like were they already teaching you that in college? How did you get into that?
got into it was every summer I would conduct research. So I conducted research at University of Chicago. I conducted
Mm-hmm.
research at University of Washington in Washington State,
Mm-hmm.
and then out in DC, I went to the what is it, Army Research Laboratory, and that's where all of these
Okay.
experiences allowed me to see different aspects of technology. And so
Mm-hmm.
when you it's interesting because once you get into these big companies, they're not necessarily looking for expertise. They're more so looking for how you think and how you approach things, and then they can help guide you into a certain path to help
Mm-hmm.
grow their company because
Mm-hmm.
they have initiatives, they have goals. And a lot of times when you're graduating from college or something, or you new to a field, they don't expect you to know how to do everything and actually
Okay.
do it at a high level, but they
Okay.
want to know if you can think at a high level,
Right.
if you
Right.
can adjust, if you can work hard, if you hungry. That's what they're looking for. And so it's not so much so you being book smart, right? It's more so, do you have these other intangibles, these soft skills? Can you handle pressure? And
Mm-hmm.
so like when you were talking about you got to sell yourself, it's not so much selling yourself on, just your skill. You want,
Mm-hmm.
because like you said, you are human capital. You got to understand
Mm-hmm.
when you going into these interviews, and I don't want to, I'm just speaking from my perspective and like my experience, is that there's going to be people coming after you. They're going to interview maybe like 30 people. So you got to set yourself apart. And the way that you
Ugh.
do that is by, you know, not being cocky, but let them know more about you. Communicate. These are human beings. You got to let them know, like,
Mhm.
hey, listen, I know that you're going to interview 30 more developers. In my case, like 30 more developers, but I'm hungry. I'm that guy that's not only going to work hard and study every day
Mhm.
and and be receptive to not to things that, how do I say this? And I'm gonna cut this. I'm gonna make this short. I'm gonna be receptive to different approaches to solving problems and not just think
Right.
I know it all. And so it's
Right.
just way you have to, leave an interview. It's the way that you have to, really just set yourself apart.
Mm.
And it's about being confident, just
Mm.
knowing that, like, listen, man, I can do this, and this is why I'm the best
Yeah.
candidate.
Okay.
That
Okay.
whole
I
lot of
love
shit.
that. I love that a lot. Okay. So, of course, we're going to be reviewing your resume today. I want to know, with you being, you've already made multiple six figures, if not already reached that seven-figure mark as a tech founder. You created your own software. I'm curious to know of the mindset of you saying, "Hey Jada, I know that I'm already having success over here and I'm making tens of thousands of dollars every month inside of this business. Hey, you know what? I think I want to get back in the job force." Talk to me about your mindset behind that.
A few things go into that. One, security. In business, you realize that industries change, things shift. And so, there's that aspect. So I certainly in my field, things have shifted.
Mm-hmm.
Especially with the advent of AI being introduced.
Mm-hmm.
And then with that said, is like, okay, what's happening in the world? What are the top companies focused on? Getting back
Yeah.
in that mix is so
Yeah.
important because you don't want to get left behind. You want to know
Absolutely.
what's the most advanced stuff that's happening right now. And in my case, I want to be in that loop. And I found myself being in somewhat of a silo because I'm focused on what I'm focused on. And so,
Mm-hmm.
um, that's part of it. And there's a lot of tech founders who actually work for major companies. And I
Mm-hmm.
realized, you know what? I'm a tech founder. I have a successful company, but there's more to learn. There's more relationships to be
Mm-hmm.
had. And so that's
Mm.
that's that's part of one that's part of the reason. Plus, like I said earlier, like my children, I'm a father of 5 now. And
Whew. Big Daddy.
and Big Daddy, right? So it gets real out here. And that's like that's number one for me, is being able to facilitate and make sure that I'm forward thinking and making sure that my family is secure financially. And, that's so important to me. And that's a sign of a good leader, being able to have foresight into, like, you know what? I don't want to wait until things slow down or get bad before I decide to make a decision. No,
Mm.
nah.
Mm.
So
That's good. That's good. Foresight, true leadership. Okay. I love this. Now we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna hop into this interview. I mean, to this resume review. You ready?
let's do
All
it.
right.
It's
All
been a
right. Cool,
while.
guys.
So, I'm excited to
It's
see
been
a
a
lot.
while. We're gonna get you right. We are going to get you right. All right, y'all. I'm about to share my screen. I don't know. I just want to say, everybody thinks that since I work in tech, that I'm just like good with all these electronics. Y'all, I be confused every day. Like I try to tell people I work in tech, but I don't really have a tech job. Like I'm not a techer. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a techie. I'm not a texter at all. Like I be lost. Um One sec, we are about to switch over screens, Kabir. Let me switch this over to is this? I don't even know if this is yours. I hope this is yours. I'm gonna share my screen. We gonna see what. Yeah, that's you. Okay, perfect. Had to make sure. I got too many
Yeah,
tabs open.
you can see my picture.
There we go. All right, Kabir, can you see my screen? Okay. So off the rip, there are already things that I would definitely change here, Mr. Muhammad. All right. Let's look over it though. Let's see what we got. Innovative and results driven full stack engineer with over 10 years of experience. Okay. Founder of a successful set. Okay. Yes. Actively seeking full time opportunity to contribute to a high impact. All right. We got a photo right here. All right. Well, hey, listen, we at least y'all know my friend. This is a beautiful man, as y'all can see. His wife loves him a lot. Okay, CEO and CTO. Oh, so you are the chief executive officer and the chief technology officer. Okay, we love that. Okay, educational background, Morehouse College, projects. This is good. Okay, full stack engineer, cybersecurity. All right. So my man's K Dot. We got some changes to make here, sir. So I would love to know, why is your photo on here?
You know what? To immediately give the idea or give an insight into who I am, what I look like, see if I'm professional, see, you know, if I can fit their culture, because that's a lot goes into freaking working for corporate America. It's a lot of cultural things that play a part. So
Yes, yes, yes. Okay. Now, this brings up a conversation that is important. You guys, biases are real. Biases in corporate are real. They are so real. They're so real to the point where there's been studies that have shown people have submitted resumes and selected that they are a white man versus a black man, and the white man has gotten 3 times more interviews. So, with keeping in mind that biases are real, never put a photo on your resume. Ever. Never want to put a photo on your resume. When it's time for you to show your level of professionalism, we're going to show that in the interview. Okay? So the photo has to leave. I know that you are a professional because I'm looking at your resume. You are a CEO, a CTO, a full stack engineer, cybersecurity software developer. I know that you are a professional. Not only that, you graduated about 15 years ago, or not technically 15, you graduated 12 years ago from Morehouse College. You're a professional. I don't need your picture for it. I'm going to remove that photo because I don't want you to experience biases that are unjust and undue. So that has to go.
let me ask you this,
The
Jada.
next thing,
As far as like, with the advent of like LinkedIn and all these other portals where they can see me anyways, what would
they can
you
see you anyway. They see you got on a tailored suit anyway. This is the exact photo that's on your LinkedIn because I looked at your LinkedIn before this call. They already know. They don't need that on there. So we got to get that gone. The next thing, as far as the setup of your actual resume, I would change this. I would change the setup of your resume, and I would make it more like this. You give me 1 second. I'm about to pull up a resume. Man, I'm finna make this. This finna be so good that we gonna have to boy. Hey, I'm gonna have to put this in the paid program. Hey, this call gonna go in the paid program. I'm gonna be like, yeah, yeah, this is a good one. Let's see. Let me pull up one of my different the resumes here. 1 sec. Because I would change the formatting of your resume so that more things stick out about what you are actually good at and the value that you can bring to an organization. Because just from looking at your resume, by the way, y'all, a skill y'all gonna have to learn how to use. If you really want to be successful in this interviewing game, I'm gonna need you all to learn how to research some on your computer, but still have a full blown conversation. A lot of people can't do that. Okay? When my manager asks me questions and I don't know the answer, best believe I'm on that computer typing my life away. Okay? so so hold on. I'm trying to find this resume for you. Where's mine at? Because I had it pulled up before this. Okay. I cannot find that bad boy, which is crazy because I always have resumes available, like at all times. Uh. My bad, y'all. My resume files are not pulling up, oddly enough. It's all good. We're gonna keep it pushing. I'm gonna come across that bad boy later. But let's look at this right here. Let's go back to that file. Okay. Cool. So right here for this work experience, we are going to keep this here as a CEO and CTO, but this is this is a hard one. So when you are looking at these different jobs and you are looking for the role of a full stack engineer, you are going to have to find a way to get the CEO and CTO title gone. As a matter of fact, I would put CEO dash full stack engineer because because when because when they are searching up different things in the ATS system, they're going to be pulling that. They're going to be trying to see if it already says full stack engineer. But I'm iffy about this. On yours, I really would like you to keep CEO because I feel like they need to know what you're doing. And another thing that I would also do for you, I would attach a portfolio on here because you literally built your own credit fixer technology. I would put a portfolio on here that shows them what you have been able to build for yourself so they can truly see, nah, this is real. Like, this ain't no play. When companies see CEO or anything on somebody's resume, typically, they don't usually think that you're operating at a high level. Like, Kabir, they don't look at your resume and think, oh, this man has traveled all the way around the world with this. He speaks at conferences about this software. That's not what they're thinking in their head. They're thinking small time playboy, play stuff. So I would include a portfolio on here so that they can actually see, nah, my man's is legit. He's more than legit, actually. So I would make that adjustment on there for sure.
When you say portfolio, are you more so like a demo of the software?
You could do a demo, or you could have an actual like PowerPoint there that they're able to click through. That's like a digital PowerPoint so that they can actually click and see what happens. So it's like a mixture of a demo and a portfolio. When I used to hire a lot of people that were in UX, that right there is what they would have. It was a portfolio that had some demo elements if available, but if it wasn't available, then they would just talk to us about like the process that they went through to build it out and the value it was able to bring.
I see.
Yeah, for sure. Now as far as these bullet points here, we're seeing what your bullet points are, but what I would rather see here versus what you actually put about your company, I would like to see this align with the actual job description that you have found of a full stack engineer, of some type of software developer or whatever. So I would encourage you to go out and find the actual job you are looking for and then make those adjustments so that they align with what you were doing. And a simple way to do that is to go to ChatGPT and say, hey, here's what I was doing with Credit Fixer technology, and here's what this job is saying that they're looking for. I need you to match my responsibilities from Credit Fixer. I need you to match those with what they're looking for at this job. And as long as it's something that you know that you can confidently do, I would drop that bad boy on there. Does that make sense?
So match the responsibilities with the job description that you're going after. So ideally you'll have different types of, you'll have a resume for each type of job that you're applying for.
Mm-hmm. Yes, but it's less cumbersome than that. When a lot of people think of having different resumes for different jobs, that process gets very like, it becomes very burdensome because instead of just going after like one type of role, they end up going for the whole gambit. They go for 70 different roles and now they done made 70 different resumes and you never had to do that ever. Like, they didn't even have to do that. So yeah, but you definitely want to have it in that way so that people are able to so that the person who's looking over it is able to immediately see, oh, he brings value. I compare it to dating. Like, for instance, Kabir, you are married to a beautiful wife. Y'all have a beautiful family. Let me ask you this question. Let's say that you were to meet your now wife today. You already have your successful company. You're already doing well. You have no children. She has no children. You are on a dating site. On the dating site, you have, and in your mind, you are saying, I'm looking for a woman who practices a Muslim faith. She has no children. She has a healthy diet. She's very intelligent. She reads books. She works out. She's got a good skincare routine. I seen your wife's skin. She got a good skincare routine. She enjoys traveling, and um she wants children one day. That's what you're looking for. You get on her, you see her profile. It says, I have no kids. I practice a Muslim faith. I eat healthy. I have a good skincare routine. Are you seeing the alignment between
Right.
these two things?
Right.
You're going to immediately say, let me get that. Let me
Yeah.
get you up off this dating site, baby. Let
No.
get off the site.
Right.
Please
Swipe
get
right.
off the site. Okay? You're getting her off that site as fast as you can move them hands. Okay? So that is the same way that you pretty much want to think about this process as you navigate through it. Okay? It's the same way. And thank God I done finally found a resume. I've been looking for this resume this whole time we've been talking. Nobody knew it though. So that's how you want to do it. That's how you want to align it. It's not gonna take away from the success that you had at Credit Fixer. It ain't gonna take away from that. Because here's the thing, Kabir, we just need to get you to the interview. When we get you to the interview, that's when they're going to find out that you on the phone by yourself and on your laptop and on your phone were able to generate 7 figures worth of sales for your own company. And we still going to put that bullet point in there, but the bullet points that we're going to have the most on there is what that company is asking for, because this company ain't nothing but a dating site. Does that make
I
sense?
like the way you put that. That's
You
that.
know, Kabir, that's why we friends. That's why we friends, because we like the way each other be putting stuff. Okay?
Right.
Listen, we when we met, we both said,
You
your
like to
brain
win.
work. You
Yep.
use that. Okay. So that right there is what I want to see you change. And I will work with you on this. And I'll even make sure that they'll see a before and after and everything so they can see the difference in how we went about it. The next roles here, you have full stack engineer, accelerate solutions, McLean, BA. Okay, cool. So once again, it's the same thing here, man. You're gonna want to take all of these jobs and do the same thing with all of these bullet points. Change all of them to align with the jobs that you're going after. So one of the things that I do is this. Okay, uh, give me 2 job roles that you would actually be going after.
Tech sales and project management.
Okay, tech sales and project management. So if I was in your position, number one, tech sales would be secondary for sure. The reason I say that is because sometimes tech sales can take up a lot of time. And if you were going after project management, I would tell you that you are only allowed to go after project management jobs that are senior and director level jobs. For you and your experience, if you are going after anything less than a director level job, you are doing a disservice to your life. So yeah, I don't tell everybody that, but with you, yeah, no, they should be bringing you in as a director. If they're not bringing you in as a director, then they should be bringing you in about 3 steps away from the CEO. So that looks like a global delivery manager. That looks like a vice president of. Okay? For you, this looks like consultant. Okay? You you and I in no room ever should be making the same amount of money. And this is coming from someone who is already at that senior level. We shouldn't, our paycheck shouldn't be the same, Kabir. I don't have a 7-figure company that I developed every single portion of the company. I don't have that experience. You do. So I wouldn't even go after a tech sales job. It's not enough money. Too much work, not enough money for you.
Yeah.
You can make 300 grand, but why make 300 grand working all day when you're supposed to be a director?
True enough.
Okay, so that's kind of the way that my brain thinks about that when it comes to you. So take all of this here. You're gonna make sure that the jobs that you're putting here on this resume, they need to change and match what you're going after.
Gotcha.
Okay,
So all those job descriptions,
mm-hmm.
like the
Change
titles stay the
all of
same,
these.
but the descriptions, like the bullet points, is what you're talking about.
Yes. Number one, your resume has no choice but to be 2 pages. 1 page is not enough. Your resume should always be 2 pages. No more. It should only be more than 2 pages if you're going after a government job or if you have 20 plus years of experience. If not, it should be 2 pages. It should always be 2 pages, period. As a matter of fact, here, let me switch over and share this screen so that you can see this right here. So, this right here is what I would want your resume to look like. Doesn't have to be this exact format, but this is what I need to see immediately. I need to see your areas of expertise immediately. I need to see your skills overview immediately. I need to see your professional statement aligning in this way to show these companies the value that you're actually wanting to see from them. Recent engagement impacts. Here, this is where you're going to pop your shit about what you was doing in your company. Led, created, delivered, evaluated, facilitated, and gathered. This is where you gonna get busy with these folks right here. Okay? Because you gotta have those recent engagement impacts.
Yeah.
One of the reasons I love putting recent engagement impacts on my resume is because when I get into that interview, they start asking questions. They say, wait a minute. I read that it said that you gathered the pertinent national data to boost total consumer retention rates by over 44% in less than 1 year. How did you do that? And we're able to talk about it. The reason I put the skills overview over here like this is because I need them to understand that I possess excellent presentation and written communication skills, enabling clear dissemination of project information along with competency in project budgeting and accounting for financial transparency. I can come down here and tell you I know how to manage a budget. But no, I need you to be here and know more about my skills overview, okay? When it comes to areas of expertise, you want to know where I got all these beautiful areas of expertise from?
LinkedIn, the job description.
LinkedIn, the job description, okay? The only time I put things that they did not ask for on areas of expertise is if I look at the job description and they said that they wanted these little 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If they already said they want these 7 right here, boy, I'm not gonna go and change and erase these. Like, you said you want this, okay, bet I got that. Cool. So once you start focusing on always applying to like the same role or the same 1 or 2 roles, it's typically easy for you to navigate the process, the job search, because you're not having to change stuff every time, because at some point it becomes repetitive. Like, what all is gonna change from a role? Like, come on. So yeah, this is the first thing we're gonna do. We're gonna fix that up for you. And then the next thing you see here, leads planning, organization, and oversight of multiple cross-functional strategic initiatives, achieving a 20% increase in on-time deliveries. So all the stuff that you see here, I really did do. I really did do that. But I looked at the job description and then I said, okay, hey chat, let's have a talk right quick. Here's what I've done. Here's what they're wanting. Put them together. Make me like this. Okay? So that is what you are going to do. As you can see, I removed my experience that wasn't relevant. That's just something I chose to do. I ain't telling nobody else to do that, but that's what I did. If I would have put, worked at Wendy's, I have much more experience than that. Y'all don't got to know I worked at Wendy's one time in my life. That's not relevant. So I removed that. But For you, all of yours are going to be on your second page because all of your experience is relevant. You're just not going to have as many bullet points as me. You're probably going to have 5 bullet points per role, something nice and simple. And then as far as the education, as you can see here, for education, we keep that down here at the bottom, nice and simple. All of this stuff, we keep it there. Because if I'm being honest, they don't care about your education.
Mhm.
Companies don't really care about your education. They just need to make sure that you can pass that background check. Of course, they don't want someone that is incompetent that is in the role, but they don't care about it so much they need to be at the very top of your resume. That's meant for the bottom of the resume. We're going to focus on these 1 or 2 pages. So when we go back over here and let's see. Okay, there we go. You know what I'm finna do? Let's see. I'm gonna pull up both of these. One sec. Let me pull up my other monitor so we can get both of these on here. That's 1, and that is 2. Okay, let me move this over here. And we're gonna move this one here. Because we finna sit these bad boys side by side.
And let me ask you this. So
Talk to me.
what do you say to somebody who's, been out the game? So I've worked for myself for the last 5 years. So
Yeah.
when I look at it, I'm like, wow, that's huge. Like it's almost
Yeah.
that's a long time. And it's almost like I'm so new. And it's part of the reason why I hopped on this call with you and I wanted people to see this too,
Mm-hmm.
because I'm inexperienced now,
Mm-hmm.
as in a sense of working for somebody.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm rusty in many areas, like even
Mm-hmm.
interviewing. And
Mm-hmm.
so I guess my question is like, when it comes to interviewing,
Mm-hmm.
things have shifted, right? I'm sure like the style of interviews has changed.
Mm-hmm.
What are some of those things that, somebody like myself should look out for or expect?
So, I will say that what has changed when it comes to the style of interviews is the number of interviews. Very similar. What has changed is not interviews. What has changed is human nature. Interviews haven't changed. Human nature has changed. Now, instead of back when you were graduating school, it was typical for um let me see. It was typical for Boeing to only be looking for someone in Maryland for that location in Maryland. It was typical for someone for network security systems plus to only be looking for someone that was in Virginia. Because back then, it was rare that you had a homie that was like, yeah, bro, I work 100% remote. Like, you wasn't really hearing a lot of that. You feel me? And the people that you did hear that from, you was like,
You
how
had
you
to
do
be the
that?
best. You had to be good. Like for me, I've always worked remote. So
Mm-hmm.
I only had to go in the building maybe twice a week, but for the most part, I've worked remote my whole career.
Yep.
So, but yeah, you're
Yeah.
right. Like, so I see where you're going with this. You're saying that they're interviewing people, number one, via Zoom mainly, and all over the world at this point.
All over the world. Just like what we see and this is the reason why I always say the quote, everything is everything. As above, so below. There is nothing that is really different from anything if you really think about it in the grand scheme. When you've been married for quite some time, but think about your friends that are still in the dating, and they're like, bruh, you either got friends saying I got no options, or you got friends saying I got a whole lot.
Yeah.
The people that have a whole lot, that means that guess what they're doing to those people? They're making them go through more dates than they would have had them go through 10 years ago, 5 years ago. Do you know how many dates I make people go through?
Okay,
I have 6 of y'all. Like, I
that's a
have
lot of
6 of
money
y'all.
right there.
You see?
I don't recommend
So
that.
I don't recommend it either.
But
So
yeah, I see.
the options are so much more plentiful for people now. So since the options are more plentiful, that means that the process becomes more rigorous to get through it. Now, when you only had to do 3 interviews, now they got you doing 6. Or maybe they got you doing a panel interview. Or maybe they interviewing 30 Kabirs. Versus before, they was only interviewing 6 of y'all. You know? So that right there is what has changed. For you, the biggest thing is going to be navigating the interview and being able to express the value that you can bring to a company by being able to answer the questions in the best way possible. So I'll give you an example. And I think that, man, I'll never forget when we met, when I tell people that you actually taught me how to read. And they're like, what do you mean by that? Like, you've always had a lot of books. And I told them, I would say, no, I met a guy at a conference and he taught me how to read. They said, how he teach you how to do that? I said, because he was telling me how he was getting through books so fast. And then all you told me is that you would look at how many pages were in the book, and then after that, you would just say, okay, well, I want to finish this book by this date, so how many pages do I need to read today? My brain had never thought of that before. Like, I was like, so that put me in a position where I was able to wordsmith very easily because I read so much that I can come up with anything on the spot.
Yes, you do.
So if they, in an interview, were to ask you, Kabir, I want to know, why do you feel like you'd be the best candidate for this role? I would probably say, I feel like I know that I'm the best candidate for this role because for the last 5 years, I sacrificed in every single area of my life to be the best of the best with what I did. You all are looking for someone that can change that can increase the revenue of your company by tenfold. I remember when I was looking at the about section of you all's company, and then I did some additional research and I ended up looking at what your goals were for the next 5 years. I've already completed that here inside of my own company, so I know I can come in your company and bring that value. Like, just imagine how much better you can answer that question after you'd already practiced the answer. That's what I just came up with off from sitting here. So I say that to say, like, you're going to do fine in the interview as long as you look up some interview questions and you go ahead and practice them and make sure that you're approaching the interview in the most confident way possible. The biggest thing is going to be that confidence. How are you approaching the confidence inside of that interview, especially with the level of jobs that you're about to be going after? They don't want to hear any if, ands, maybes, buts. They want to say, this is it. So that's going to be one of the biggest things going into the interview with confidence. I actually have a interview framework that I've been every single person that I've like taught this, they get them jobs quick. And that framework that I'm going to tell here on this call, even though I was going to save it for my program, is when you're in the interview, your interview questions should be 2 minutes. Or really 1. Your interview questions should be 1 to 2 minutes every single time you're asked a question. That's how long your answer should be. The reason your answer should be that long, Kabir, is because I need to see a number of things. I need to know, number 1, you want to put your interviewer in a position where they don't have to ask you so many questions. So there are a few questions that they're going to ask you. You need to already be answering the question inside of your answer. You know that they're going to ask you about finances. You know that they're going to ask you about leadership. You know that they're going to ask you about your technical expertise. So you should be figuring out a way to answer these questions and include some of those things. Drop those nuggets in different areas. Okay? So, yeah, that's it. That's all you're going to have to worry about doing. Focus on the value that you can bring to that company. Another thing you can do when you are being interviewed and they are asking you questions, when you answer the question, you should end it with a question. Most of these people, when they ask questions at the end, when I give them permission to. So you know what that tells me? That tells me that you only gonna do what I give you permission to do. So I can't pay you $200,000 because people that only do what they're given permission to do don't make enough money.
That's facts.
People that only do what they're given permission to do don't make enough money.
I don't want to pay you to think. I want
Yeah.
you to. I want to pay you to, so that you can think for me. Help me think about come up with ideas, come up with
See?
solutions. Like, I don't want
See?
to pay you to have to tell you what to do.
Exactly. They
Yeah.
don't want to pay you for that either, Kabir. Like, so when you're answering when you answer a question, you should be ending it with a question. And you should say, is the reason you asked me that question because you all are struggling in this area and you all are looking for some guidance or looking to improve that area? They're going to answer. I love getting in interviews and throwing interviewers off of whatever path of questions they were going to ask. And that's easy to do. If you're going to interview 30 people, you're only going to have one person that does that, and I'm the one. So,
Yeah.
so that's something. Let me see. We got something in the chat. She said, that's good. Heck yeah. So that's it. You're not going to have an issue in these interviews as long as you approach the interview with as much confidence as possible and you understand how to effectively tell them what you can do.
Understood.
You'll be good.
Yep.
You'll be good there. Absolutely. Yes. It does make you seem more personable. It does. And let's touch on the personable aspect of it. So you guys, the last interview that I had it's May right now. The last interview that I had was in February. I literally secured that job on the first interview. It wasn't no 2, 3, 4. It was 1. Okay? So in that interview, we're on the call and the interviewer is asking me, she said something about, can you tell me about a time where you were dealing with a difficult customer, and you knew a better solution than what they were wanting to go with, and you had to navigate that and still get you all to the end goal? You guys, I don't do a lot of thinking in interviews. I know my stuff. That's why I keep my little success book I keep telling y'all to create. I immediately answered. I said, oh, absolutely. I have plenty of stories where that actually happened and where I had to overcome those dealings with that customer. So, a few weeks ago, boom, now we got a whole story. I'm giving her the details that are necessary. But when I'm thinking about the details that I need to give her that are necessary, these are details that show that I have competency in multiple areas that you're looking for. I'm going to show you I have leadership skills. I'm going to show you I have communication skills. I'm going to show you I have financial budget skills. I'm going to show you that I have strategy skills. I'm going to show you I know how to network. I'm going to show you 5 or 6 things I know how to do in one answer just because I'm like that. They not used to seeing that on no interview. So that right there, when you answering questions like that and you insert a giggle or something every now and then or a little joke or something, off rip, you got it. You personable. In the interview, this woman said, you know what, Jaida? You are geographically attractive. Her coworker said, you ain't never called me geographically attractive. And I said,
I heard of that.
I said, you think I'm geographically attractive? Tell me more. Who says tell me more in an interview? That's crazy.
Right.
I said, tell me more. And what did she do? She told me more. Okay? So when she told me more, I said, you know something about yourself? She said, what? Here's the next part. This is another gem. Y'all, I'm really giving y'all gems that I charge people thousands for. So don't say I never gave y'all nothing. So here's the next thing that I did. I gave her insight into something that I do outside of what's on my resume so she could know I'm multifaceted and I do more. Here's what I said. I said, you know, speak at different schools all around the country. And one of the things I do inside those leadership workshops, that's two things I just gave her. Okay. So she knows I'm an effective communicator and that people send me, okay. And she knows that leadership. Oh, so I'm training other people. All right, let's keep it going. So when I'm talking to these different teachers and giving them advice on how to further excel in leadership, I always make sure I give them a DISC assessment. Have you ever heard of a DISC assessment? She says, I don't think so. I said, let me tell you about it. In this DISC assessment, it breaks down so many different things about people's personality, strengths, weaknesses, the different things they could be awesome at or the different things they could be really bad at. I said, but I see a lot of greatness in your communication skills. You would probably be a high I. Yeah, maybe. Well, that's one of the things that I do whenever I'm working with people inside of a leadership environment. If I have to lead you, I'm going to make sure I give you a DISC assessment because I want to fully understand your strengths and your weaknesses. So when you all go ahead and entrust me with your team of over 100 people, we really shouldn't have too much of an issue when it comes to communication, nor should we have much of an issue when it comes to delegation because I've already very, very carefully looked at their strengths and their weaknesses. So 9 times out of 10, I can guide us to the appropriate answer needed so we can increase the revenue the way that you want. But maybe revenue isn't your thing to increase. Maybe you don't like money. Do you? She was like, yeah, so I think so we're ending the interview. We're gonna go ahead and hire you. What do you want to be paid?
You a cold piece, Jada.
So
Yeah.
this is why I say, like, Kabir, you ain't gonna have no problem as long as you coming in there going crazy with the confidence, my boy. That's all you need. You didn't build a 7-figure company, Kabir. You've had people try to buy your company for millions of dollars. Like, what are we talking about right now?
No, it's easy work. See, that's the thing for me is knowing the right approach. So that's what I'm just listening intently, taking notes on the underlying things that you're doing, like giving the interviewer insight into things that's outside of your resume, giving them more insight, but it's also still tailored to what I know or you know that this is what they're looking for already.
Yes.
And so now I'm going to highlight that at a greater level, like, yo, this is an example of how I do it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm picking up on all these nuggets that you're giving. And I think about time when it comes to these interviews. And funny enough, every interview that I've ever had, and I hope I keep the streak going, I've never not gotten a job, which I'm probably like, what's on my resume? Maybe 5 for 5? Well, 4
Yeah,
for
you
4.
5 for 5, bro. like,
So
like, come
we'll see.
on. And now
Yeah.
we finna take it up a notch, bro.
Yeah.
Come here, you can easily be on a director level right now, a director level position right now.
I know it. I know it for sure. Like I think
Yeah.
a lot of guys that are at that director level, they I won't say they outdated, but a lot of times you get in these roles and you get comfortable and you don't
Yep.
adapt with the time. You think learning
Mm-hmm.
ChatGPT is too difficult. Learning
Mm-hmm.
new tools is too difficult, but that's just an
Mm-hmm.
excuse.
Mm-hmm.
But I think like things have shifted so fast, and if you're
Mm-hmm.
not willing to adapt, you're really just gonna have to get replaced. And I think like right now is the opportune time for me to really like flex my, I don't want to cuss on here, but flex, my my
Yeah.
my my skill set, my talent to ask for those roles. And that's one thing that I used to be afraid of when I first started out until I started, my second role at Boeing. I was afraid to ask for the right amount of money I felt what I was deserving of, and like that job, I ended up when I went to Chicago, I was making
Mm-hmm.
17K a month
Yeah.
as an employee.
Come
Like,
on, man.
I'm
Stop
like,
playing.
yo, this they giving that much money out. But
Mm-hmm.
from then on, I was never afraid to ask for more, and that's why, I realized that, something you said where you said, it was like, I forget what you said. You said something, but if they notice that you're kind of, weak in like your stance, they're gonna give you peanuts. They're gonna give
Mm-hmm.
you the lowest amount. And like I mean, like right now, even I can tell, like even my jargon when it comes to
Mm-hmm.
corporate America is different. Is I got to pick up on like the cultural, the lingo, and all those different
Mm-hmm.
things as well. So I'll be spending the
Mm-hmm.
next like month just practicing because I am eyeing a few careers, a few jobs in director positions in
Mm-hmm.
high level companies like
Mm-hmm.
Microsoft, and I might skip Amazon because I know they be doing too much to get.
Bro, I ain't gonna hold you, bro. They be doing too much, man. I done had a few Amazon projects. I'll be like, good God.
They do too much to
They so
just
all over
get
the place.
in the company. I got a
Bruh.
couple boys that it's just too much. But let me ask you this then. You know, what about people? Is it like people having friends in the company? Is it easier to get fast tracked into roles?
Yes. For sure. Most definitely. Absolutely. And by the way, y'all, if y'all have any questions, go ahead and drop those questions in the chat so we can get those questions answered. But yeah, it's most definitely easy because they are able to call up different recruiters and say, hey, are y'all hiring for this? Are y'all hiring for this? Are y'all hiring for that? And then they're able to very easily slide your resume through. Not all people have those capabilities because every company is set up differently. But yeah, if you got a friend that's in the company, it's easy to slide in sometimes for sure. Cause they already got somebody vouching for them, versus you just a random dude off the street. It's a whole different ball game. Like right now, if I knew of some director level positions hiring, I would easily say, all right, bro, send me your resume on Tuesday once you're done making those edits and I'm gonna send it over to such and such. Easy work. That's light. Yeah. Yeah. It just depends on the setup of the company and what they're looking for.
Somebody got a question. They said, "Can you go more into why Sundays are the best day to submit a resume?"
For sure, Jamal. So Sundays are the best days to submit your resumes because in the morning, when recruiters go ahead and open up that laptop, you're going to be one of the first things that they see. Okay. Not only that, a lot of the people that I know that have like jobs that are more task heavy or performance heavy, they're checking their email on Sunday nights because they're trying to prepare for the day. Like for me right now, I have huge projects on my plate. I'm checking that work email before I go to bed tonight. Okay? I need to know, did any of my sites catch on fire? Okay? So I'm going to check it. So that's the reason why. You want to be the first thing that they see when they wake up in the morning. Okay? Shanice, examples of ways to practice confidence for first interviews. I haven't interviewed in quite a while. 100%. So, one of the best ways to practice your confidence for your first interviews is by knowing your stuff. People that know their stuff automatically come off with having more confidence. I want you to also look into phrasing that is confident versus phrasing that is mediocre. Phrases, things that you can say that are confident versus phrases that show that you are unsure. I want you to look into those things. This is not off topic, but it kind of is, but it actually fits in with all of us because my community is full of black people. You guys, as black people, we have been so used to making ourselves smaller that we are surprised when we have someone that makes themselves bigger. You need to practice how to make yourself bigger. When it comes to confidence, when you get on the interview, first thing, hey, I hope you guys are having a great morning. I really appreciate you all spending some time with me so I can learn some more about your company and see if, we can be valuable to one another. That's confident. Not confident is, hey, I'm really nervous. I'm sorry. What are you nervous for? It's not they're not hiring you. Okay. So hop in the call. You have confidence. You know what you're bringing to the table. You know that you're here to help this company create new revenue or save this company from what they're dealing with. This company has a need. Provide the solution. Okay. One of the reasons why, if you guys look at this previous presidential election that we were unfortunately forced to be a part of, you will see that one of the reasons that they did not trust Kamala is because Kamala, although she's extremely intelligent, she did a lot of giggling. And in my head, I was just always thinking, it's nothing funny right now. Like, this not funny, bro. You are going against a narcissistic, misogynistic felon. This ain't funny, Bookie. And that's one of the reasons why, outside of pure racism, that's one of the reasons why they did not trust her. Versus Michelle Obama, they trust Michelle. They might disrespect her, do all those things because they're just disrespectful. But if they would have had Michelle Obama running, it would have been a different experience than Kamala running, because Michelle Obama is a lot less open. She's very stone faced. So that's another way. Being able to show your personality while also not coming off as playful, if that makes sense. So yeah, practice that confidence by knowing what you're bringing to the table. Creating your success book. I actually should just give y'all a template, but I will. I'm gonna give y'all one. Creating your success book of stories, separated in different areas: finances, budgeting, leadership, strategic initiatives, data analysis, organizational leadership. Create this and make some separation there so that you will be able to understand, like, quickly regurgitate what they're asking you for, because you know what's being talked about. That's how you practice that confidence. That's how you do it. When I'm in interviews with people and I get on an interview with someone and they hop on and they're like, "Hey, how are you?" I'm like, "I'm great. How are you?" They're like, "Okay, love to hear it. You ready to get started?" I'll be like, "Oh, well, you know what? I'm interviewing you, but you know what? Yeah, I guess I am ready. Let's go." you know? And then when I'm asking them questions and their answers are like, they're not like, no, when they're giving me answers and they're saying, "Yeah, on my last project, I was actually the individual that was leading that, and I'm gonna quickly walk you through the." Listen, I'd be like, "Ooh, can answer questions quick, amen." Put that on there, okay? Um, so yeah. Now we got some other questions here. Let me see. Let's get these questions answered, guys. So one of the questions is, and let me stop sharing right there so that they can have a layout of just one person right now so I can answer this question, and we're gonna hop back and to look at both of those resumes. One of the questions was, what is the best way to sell myself as a business owner? How should my business resume look? For sure. So the one of the best, if you are looking to get into the job market, then one of the best ways to sell yourself as a business owner is by talking about the way that you can best help this company with what their problem is. All it takes is a little bit of research. When you do a little bit of research on that company, it's typically pretty easy to see what their problems are, especially if you do some research and dig into the financials of that company, and then you really start figuring out what the problem is. So that is usually an option that's available, especially if it is a publicly traded company. That's pretty easy. But I will also look up the initiatives for the company. I would look at the about section. I would look at just all types of stuff. I don't mind getting on a company's page and digging in their business. So it's usually pretty easy to sell yourself in that way. Now, I know I have a lot of entrepreneurs on my page as well. So if you are looking to create another type of resume or something so that you can sell this to other businesses, or get into other rooms with businesses, or become a vendor for businesses or things like that, I would probably just create a very, very simple portfolio using Canva. I would create a portfolio using Canva, and in that portfolio, I would have all of my different metrics. I would have my metrics of how many customers we've been serving. I would have my metrics of the products and services that we are offering. Not metrics, I'm sorry. I would have the descriptions of that. I would have the value that we've been bringing. I would have all those things. I would literally create that into a thing like that. That is what I would do if I was trying to sell myself as a business owner in some aspect. That's what I would pretty much do. Um, Let me see. Yeah. So I'm about to share my screen with y'all. Let's go over here to this window. Da, 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 da. Boom. Okay, bet. So, Kabir, so if you look over here on the left, you'll see the actual resume that I have, and up under your name, well, first off, you're gonna remove your photo. Once you remove your photo, we're gonna put your name dead set in the middle. After we put your name there, then we're gonna go ahead and put the role that you're going after up under your name. So you're going to be go after roles that are bigger than specialist, analyst, developer, and engineer. You can keep like this cybersecurity assessment specialist. I would actually change that to some type of like senior level role. I would start changing these up so that it makes sense in terms of a progression. And this is what I like to call this just doing a little bit of tweaking. Um, because it's not that you are, when you change cybersecurity assessment specialist to senior full stack engineer, who cares? You know how to do the job, so change it. So I would up under here, I would just put director of whatever or whatever job you're going after that you've been finding. So when it comes to the years are going to match the actual job description. All right. Sometimes if I see that I'm applying to roles and they just always keep saying 6+ years, 7+ years, 8+ years, I just go ahead and change it to whatever I see the most. So I ain't got to keep changing it every time I hop on here. Um, so this here, you are going to actually change this and make it align more with what they are asking for. They're going to tell you exactly what they're looking for in that role. And I would just change it, of course, using ChatGPT because we use artificial intelligence over here. This educational background, we're gonna take this away. We're gonna put that bad boy at the bottom there. Um, and we are also going to put your phone number and your email. We're going to bring those things to the top of your resume because when they are in here looking for your stuff, you want them to be able to find it very quickly. Next, areas of expertise. Your areas of expertise, like I said, you're getting that directly from the job description. Directly from the job description. Then you have the right here, this CEO, CTO situation you got going on here. I would just change that name to whatever it is you're looking for because you're not looking for, mid-level jobs. You're looking for you're looking for the big boys. So I would just change that, go ahead and put director because who's going to tell you that you wasn't? So yeah, I would change that there. This, of course, we want this to start aligning with what you need. So all of this work experience here is going to be down on your second page here. Okay? Your education that is here, we're putting that down here on that. Okay? Now, here on this page, this is where we're gonna get down to business. You want them to know about your skills. You want them to know that you have sold 7 figures with your bare hands. We're gonna put that here inside of that skills overview so that they know that. Okay, we're putting that in there. You want them to know about your leadership ability. We're putting that there. You want them to know about your connectivity with C-suite level executives. We're putting it there. You want them to know about the fact that you are in these meetings where y'all have very, very large numbers being thrown around, 20 million, $30 million. We're putting that here. When it comes to recent engagement impacts, we getting dirty in these engagement impacts, okay? We getting dirty. We finna talk about it. We finna talk about it real good. And we gonna use ChatGPT to do it all. I'm sure you all notice I have action verbs here. Assistant, led, created, delivered. I did that for a reason. I need you to know that I am not just some person who just puts cute stuff together. No, I take action. I make impact. Okay? This is how you show your impact. Put that on there. Okay? It has to be on there. So yeah, that's what you're gonna do. This is gonna go from this to something like this.
Say less. This is
Okay?
all I really needed to see. This right here, your
Yeah.
approach, your mind behind how you how you laid out the resume. I mean, this is this is a flawless resume.
Yeah.
You know,
Thank you.
and truth be told, like I put that resume together, mine, in about, I don't know, maybe 30 minutes. I was like, you know what, let me get this to Jada so she could thrash it, so I can quickly get to understand how to properly, create a resume in
Mm-hmm.
2025.
Yeah, 100%. Oh, I'll tell you something else I would do for yours. Put your website to Credit Fixer so they can go to it. Put that on there so they can go to it. Um, yeah, they need to be able to go to that for sure. Um, and then team leadership, we can take this off. This whole section can go. Actually, projects and leadership, we can bounce that right on up out of here. Because we ain't gonna need it. And also, with how important AI is, yeah, on your resume, I need to see a whole lot of that. Okay, I need you, and when you put that you was doing such and such with Credit Fixer, I need to hear you need to have a whole lot of stuff that you was doing with AI. Look, let me. I gotta look. I don't know all the AI terms. You don't need to say deep learning, LP. Uh, what else they talk about up in here? Uh, the robots. Uh, data. Uh, augmenting human senses. Okay.
I heard that one.
Put some AI stuff up in there, okay? Make it tell these folks that you developed open AI, okay? I am ChatGPT. Look,
Wow.
put that in there. All that. Be like, I did it all. Okay?
Listen,
I
listen.
am open AI's mentor. All right. Amen. Okay. You hear me? I mentored them. Okay. Kabir, do you have any other questions while we are still on here? Anybody on here, even
Yeah,
my people on Instagram, do y'all have any questions that I can get answered for y'all?
I would like to look at a role
Okay.
right now, and I just pulled this up. So if you don't mind, if I
Go ahead.
share my screen.
Share your screen.
Let's see. Let's go here. So we're here.
Y'all
And
better be lucky. I got one of my best friends on this call with me today, Kabir, because y'all know Kabir is the only person that could get me to go over all this in one call. I want to let y'all know that. Okay, let's get it.
so I'm looking at this one. I saw director of supportability. Right. Me, I'm not looking for too techy of a job. So
Mm-hmm.
looking more of delegation. I've
Mm-hmm.
managed people. I managed
Mm-hmm.
13 people. I've managed as much as 15 at one time in my own company. So I'm looking at this. How would you approach this and adapt this role to my resume?
Hmm.
And I know I'm kind of putting you on the spot.
I don't mind being put on the spot. When you know your stuff, you can handle being put on the spot. Um,
For customers to accelerate business value through differentiated customer experiences that leverage Microsoft products and services ignited by our people and culture. Come join CENS and help us build.
scroll down for me, right?
Yeah, these right here.
They use ChatGPT to create this.
Yeah, you see the
Yeah.
dash that? You see the hyphening in there?
Uh-huh. That's how I know.
Where'd you see that? I
And
didn't see
they
it.
got scroll down, it's the colons beside their responsibilities.
Oh, these.
That's how I know. Oh, you influence, you identify. This isn't something a human creates. Yeah, that's why they want you to be the director of supportability with AI. Yeah, because they use AI to do everything. Okay, so scroll up for me so I can see exactly what it says on it. That no, just for responsibilities. That's all I want to see.
This. Okay.
Yes.
See what you're saying.
Right there. Stop right there. People management, identification and prioritization, presenting issues and risk, mitigation management, opportunities, data and taxonomy, strategic alignment and goals. So here's what I would do, just off rip. When you are going through doing your section that says skills overview, in that skills overview, it's going to say people management, identification and prioritization, presenting issues and risk, mitigation management, opportunities, data and taxonomy, and strategic alignment and goals. I would take what they had right here for that, and I would put that directly inside of the skills overview. Okay, and yeah, and I would doctor it up. You say this what you're looking for? Well, this is what I do. So what's up? Okay.
Required qualifications, 12 plus years related work, technical.
Yep. And I will put that you've been 12. I will put 12 plus years.
Oh, for sure.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Or master's degree in computer science by easy word.
Yeah. I will put that. Let me see. Additional or preferred qualifications. Let's see what they say. Okay. Okay, cool. Scroll some more for me down. Scroll down. Look at that. Technical support, people management, program management, data analysis. They literally give you the blueprint on how to get this job.
Yeah.
All you got to do is take your stuff and throw it on there. Yeah. Look at that. 129 to 273.
Bay Area.
Come on now.
Oh, yeah, easy.
Come on now.
Base pay.
Yeah.
That's what I'm looking at right here.
Yes, exactly. For what they say they're looking for, I would take that. I would say, "Hey ChatGPT, here's my resume, here's my experience." And then and this role is gone. We can't even get this no more because April 14th. But that's still what I would do with that though. Mm-hmm. That's exactly how I would do it.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. And yeah. I would make it mesh. I would use ChatGPT to make my current experience mesh perfectly. One of the prompts that I actually use, and y'all want to write this down, okay? This is a prompt that I'm putting in my program. I'm creating a list of prompts for my people that get my program. Here's one of the things I have in there. Hi, I am an expert. I am an expert resume writer who has the best ATS system in the world. I need you to look at my resume and I need you to look at this job description and I need you to make my job description. I need you to make my resume match this job description perfectly. You see how specific that is? When I tell them who I need them to be, they're going to go be it. That's what you tell them to do. And then I also like to put, make me an undeniable candidate. Make me an undeniable candidate. And I also tell them, I need data in this. I need data. Okay? Yeah. Yeah. That's what I would be telling them, y'all. All of that. For sure. Yeah. That's what I would be telling them people, man. I make sure that they knew what exactly it is I'm, you feel me? Not playing no games with these people, bruh. I don't play no games with these people, bruh.
You went crazy on this live.
Bro. I don't play no games with these people.
Know they got a lot.
Bro, they really did. You feel me? Like, and I don't normally give all this game, but I want you to make 300 bands, so I'm with it.
300 extra bands is
That's nasty work. That's disgusting.
Man.
That's disgusting, fam.
Man.
Bro, that's nasty work, man.
I'm just trying to set a future for my family. That's all this is about.
Bro, you're not gonna, you setting a future for your family won't even be an issue. It's set. It's set. At that, it's set. It's nothing else to worry about. You feel me? So, yeah, fam. Like, that's it. You know, I hope that helped. I'm excited to see what your new resume ends up looking like. You know what I'm saying? After you implement those changes, I'll go ahead and send you this template that I got right here. Hey, you in the game. There's so many ways to make different templates, bro. It doesn't even. But I'll send you this one because I did create this one specifically. So I'll send it your way so you can have it.
Idea I had. I was like, man, it'd be dope for Jada is creating a software that could for resume building. I'm pretty sure they already got something out there, but they don't
Yeah,
have the approach out
yeah,
there.
they don't.
And
They don't.
that's where the real sauce comes into play. Is like I feel like with the advent of AI and the ability to create software, it's like people who are educators or people who are helping people or with this with things like this, like just resume
Uh-huh.
building.
Uh-huh.
Coupling that with a software just makes things much easier. So you have the knowledge base, but now you have a tool that can help you understand or
Mm-hmm.
implement that knowledge like that. And so
Yeah,
that was something I was thinking about. I'm like, damn, you know what? And funny enough, before I created Credit Fixer, I had a resume building platform that I was working on.
bro, I
Scrap
would love it, man. Bro, I would love something like that. I've looked into a few, but none of them are that good. So I don't be
huh?
liking them. I be like, this shit trash.
Word.
Yeah, man, they're not. None of them are that great. Like, I look into them, like they be spitting out some generic junk. I'm like, I would never say this. I'm like, this is lame. Like, I literally read it and I be like, this is the lamest. This is lame.
Nah, so I got some. You see, that's one thing about me. I've always been able to take any type of business use case and turn
Yeah,
it into a software and make it dope, not just some
yeah,
generic stuff. I just care too much. I'm somewhat of a perfectionist, which
yeah,
is something I've been working on. But I see an avenue with this, and I see what you're building, Jada, with this. A lot of
yeah.
people gonna need it. So when you said it's gonna be 1,000 people in this group, I truly believe it's gonna probably be about 2,000
I
with
believe it. I
you
want it,
know
bruh.
I'm telling you,
I'm
with
so passionate about this, bro. Like,
Phil, you can't fake this. You know what I mean?
yeah,
And you got such an infectious, personality, and people need it, and that's the biggest thing, especially like what's happening right now.
yeah.
People are losing jobs. People need jobs. People are applying for new jobs. People haven't interviewed in such a long time. So I see so many, different things or services you can add within this, and I think you're gonna do a tremendous job and just really just
Well, you
take.
already know I'm calling you after this because I need to know what's inside your mind. I'm like, give me that.
Hey,
Damn, because I have so many I have so many different ideas when
uh,
it comes to this for what it is that I'm looking to put together for people. But it's like, I end up running into that thing that so many great people run into, and it's the fact that I'm one person. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm looking into people, that I can hire right now who can do the outreach. Like I can't focus on getting amazing in this area if I'm having to send 50 emails. Like I can't do that. So I'm looking into that process right now, or even something like this. We just recorded this. After this upload is done, I'm then going to have to press the button. Thank God some of it's automated. I got to press the button so it can get me all of the shorter clips, and then when it gets me all of the shorter clips, well, great, but I have to go watch all the clips and see if the clips are good. So I have to go watch 15 different clips. And then if I like the clip, I got to export each clip. And then I have to pull the entire transcript from the episode. Then I have to go and create.
this is and Jada, that's the very reason why I said, I'm working hard. I make a lot of money, but I'm working hard
Yeah.
to make that. And this is why I'm like, you know what? Let me jump into get another form of revenue. And
Yes.
if I'm working
Yes.
14 hours to make 1 million, shit, why not work 8 to make 400,000 or
You feel me?
300,000?
Yes.
So we're
Yes.
at it. So maybe this is not 1 million, but it's like, you
Yeah.
know, 600,000. This is another 300,000, but I'm not working on credit fixer. I got somebody in place,
Yes.
managing the software. Yeah,
Yes.
so there's just so many ways you can skin a cat. That's why I've never been one of them entrepreneurs that will talk about people that actually have a job. Like that's like the dumbest asinine type of mindset to have to
Yes.
look down on somebody because they work a 9 to 5. That's actually
Yep.
very
Yep.
you should be congratulating them.
Yep. But you know
That
what it is, Kabir? And we're gonna hop off here after this because this is another talk we're gonna have on our actual interview. But bro, like I think that the reason we do that in our community is because so many of us are not used to seeing people that are in high paying corporate positions. You know, like even when I was growing up, I saw the, the only people that I knew that had really good jobs in corporate was my Uncle D and my granddad. Two people that are making amazing money too. Like my Uncle D had a Porsche. You know what I'm saying? That was my first time seeing a Porsche when I was like 5. I was like 5 years old, and this man was in his 30s.
Oh, he was caked up.
So, right, it's like we don't see a lot of that in our community. We come from this environment of $70,000 being good money. That's not good money. There's nothing good about that. It's not
No.
good money. You can't do anything with that. You know what I'm saying? Unless you are pinching pennies. Who wants to live a life like that? And I think that's the reason why they do talk down so bad on people that do have jobs, because they're not used to seeing people that have good jobs. They're used to seeing people that have jobs where they're constantly drained, they're constantly undermined, they don't make enough money. So it's like you can only speak on the exposure that you have. But the black people that are exposed to folks where all of them making six, I got some homegirls making 200 bands, 230, 220. We not talking about having a bad time with our jobs.
Yeah, no, it's not the same.
It's not the same. We're not having those combos. we're like, yeah, so you are getting a bonus this quarter, right? The conversations are different. We're not having conversations about quitting our jobs.
Yeah, big facts.
We're having conversations about adding on additional streams of income to our jobs, not quitting our jobs. The combos are different based on the people you're speaking to.
Yeah, it's definitely an approach to it, and
Yeah.
you just really got to know how to maneuver, know what decisions to make, and like pivot, know when to pivot. Like even for me, it's like, you know what? I've been at this for 5 years, day and night for 5 years, and I've gotten it to a certain level. I've made a certain amount of money, and now I want to pivot so that I don't get sucked into this. And then now I'm too far away from what's
Mm-hmm.
happening. So, man, that's something I want to talk about. But
We're
we'll
gonna
say
talk
that
about
for
it.
another
We're gonna set up some time, man. We're gonna talk about it. We're gonna get this out, man. It's gonna be good.
time.
It's gonna be good. But that's it for our 6-figure resume review, guys. You all just saw us do a resume review of somebody where we're trying to get them a director level position. Okay, y'all? Director level.
Yeah.
So, hey, if you're someone who's not even looking at a director level role, you should probably take everything that we've talked about here on this call and you should probably start implementing it immediately. And then feel free, you can send me your resume in the email and I will respond. I'm an email responder, guys. I will respond to your email.
Let me say this, Jada,
What's
before
up?
we hop off.
Okay.
When you're looking at these high level roles,
Mm-hmm.
I'm somebody that can be a director. You're looking at
Yeah.
a director, so don't sell yourself short. Like I brought that up to say that because a lot of times we be like, nah, I'm not that good. What does a director look like? If you've never been in the C-level suite, like, or been in conversation with C-level suite executives, you probably think that like they're just some amazing type of person, which they
They're
are,
not.
but they're regular. Is
They're
what
so regular.
you. I'm a regular person. I just got so much experience that I know what to look for at a certain, and that which takes me to a certain level. Like
Yeah.
they could not hire me for a mid-level software engineering role. They just
Mm-mm.
can't.
Mm-mm.
I
Mm-mm.
know too much. And
Mm-hmm.
so that is my point. Don't ever sell yourself short. If you want to go for a role, if you want to ask for a certain amount of money, it doesn't hurt to ask.
Mm-mm.
You're going It's going to hurt you by not asking.
Mm-hmm. Yep. It's
So,
gonna hurt you.
I just wanted to leave with that. Like that's what I'm going after. And I hope to come back on this and show the before and after
Please.
resume,
I'm
but
excited.
also like
I know
show
this is
like,
gonna
yo, this
work.
is the role that I got. And I'm pretty sure somebody is gonna be very inspired and
Yeah.
see that, yo, this is something that can really help them.
Heck yeah. Well,
Yeah.
all right, y'all. I just gave y'all insight into, a conversation with a very, 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 very special person to me, y'all. This man and his family means so much to me. Like, y'all just don't know. He's amazing. They're amazing. All of them are amazing. Follow this man, y'all. Follow his journey, not just his entrepreneurial journey, but his journey into getting back into corporate at an even higher corporate level than before. Like, follow his journey. You guys, if you're looking to get your credit fixed, this is your guy. He has a software that literally does that for you. So connect with my guy. Kabir, what's your Instagram name?
At Credit Fixer.
Okay.
It's credit.
Can you spell that? Because, credit fix is a little weird spell.
Yeah, so it's credit FIXRR. There's no.
Okay.
So I'll put it in the chat too.
Yeah.
Credit Fixer.
Yeah, when you put it in there, I can make it show up on our little stream.
Yeah, I hate the fact that I hate it when people don't actually put the actual link. They got you.
Yeah, so follow my guy, you guys. Yeah, and he's inside of our school community. So we're gonna be, man, I really want us to be a lot more active in there, but honestly, I just don't have the bandwidth to be sitting up here typing in the chat every day. I don't have time for that. I got people out here, I'm trying to make real money. I ain't got time to be chatting all day. So yeah, you guys, that's it, man. I really hope that y'all enjoyed this and got some value from this. I'm gonna save this up, edit it up real good for y'all, and I'm gonna actually drop it. And I'm probably gonna just drop this whole thing inside of our school community, so y'all will be able to have it. So yeah, all right, y'all. Happy Sunday. We out of here. Peace. We gone.
Jada still really out here doing her thing. Stop playing with her, yo.
No doubt in my vocab, man, I can't do probably. All I know is go get it, need everything God got for me. No bark, but the dog in them. No long talk, too short when it don't talk about it. I be about it. Got big goals in my heart.